Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my WWE Smackdown review for December 4th, 2018. I can't believe we're already in December. This is pretty much, well, my second video of the month. And we're approaching the end of the year, which I'm really excited about. But that's besides the point. Let's get into Smackdown. And while a lot happened on the show, I didn't take a lot of notes because, um, a lot of the matches that they had went a pretty decent long time. So yeah, I really didn't take a whole lot of notes, but I'm just gonna get right into this. We had Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton on commentary for this show, and the show opens up with the TLC contract signing promo for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It was conducted by Paige, and she brings out the competitors Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch talks first, and she talks about how she has battled through hell to get to this spot in the WWE, and she's willing to go through hell again, pretty much, to retain a SmackDown Women's title on TLC, whether that's being put through a table, having a ladder smashed on her face, or a chair bent across her back. And she talks about how Asuka earned a chance to get into this match, and she had someone that was handed the opportunity. And I thought Becky Lynch cut a really good promo. And then Charlotte Flair pretty much talks about how Becky Lynch is just repeating herself by saying that Charlotte Flair inherently earned this match, and talks about how Charlotte Flair destroyed Ronda Rousey with the kendo stick. Well, Becky Lynch was injured by Nia Jax and couldn't even compete at Survivor Series. And they bicker back and forth. Asuka then gets on the mic and says that Becky Lynch um, never defeated her, and says that she chose Ronda to have Charlotte Flair face Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series because she said she would have beaten Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. And pretty much he talked about how Charlotte Flair already lost to Becky Lynch, and it's her opportunity. And then Charlotte Flair brings up the fact that she took Asuka's mystique away by breaking her undefeated streak at WrestleMania 34. Um, and Becky Lynch then signs the contract and says nobody's going to beat her for the title and leaves. Um, and then Charlotte Flair and Asuka go back at it, talking about the undefeated streak and stuff like that. And Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville come out, and they pretty much talk about how Charlotte Flair lost at Survivor Series, and Asuka really wasn't all that dominant at Survivor Series. Sonya Deville took out half the roster, and she just got lucky when she won the Battle Royal. And they want to know what would happen if Asuka and Charlotte Flair didn't make it to to TLC, and this makes Paige make a tag team match between Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So that led into that match. I really liked this opening segment, though. I thought it did a really good job of hyping me up for the TLC match between Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Asuka. And I'm actually really looking forward to that match. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. Then the Miz is backstage talking to Shane McMahon, and he says he wants to know why he put his tag team partner 2/3 of the best in the world in a Miz TV segment instead of having them team up. And Shane McMahon says that the Miz is the perfect person to do the talk segment with Daniel Bryan, so the Miz agrees to do it, and that was pretty much it. I really don't care about this Shane McMahon thing that they have going on. I really just don't care about it, and I hope that it's over with soon. Then we had the tag team match. It was Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I thought it was a fine match. The crowd really wasn't that good on this show. I didn't really think they reacted to a whole lot of things. But Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville get the heat for a while on Asuka. Eventually, Charlotte Flair gets the hot tag, and Mandy Rose is on the apron. So Asuka pulls her off, and Charlotte Flair, thinking that it's Mandy Rose, big boots Asuka by mistake. Which I kind of thought she did it on purpose, but I guess she did it by accident. So then Charlotte Flair has Sonya Deville beat with a roll-up, but Asuka runs in and hits a sliding knee on Charlotte Flair, allowing Sonya Deville to cover and get the win. I actually like this finish. And Becky Lynch was out there watching the match. Well, there was a continuity issue because Becky Lynch had the SmackDown Women's title on her shoulder, but yet Paige had the thin hand up above the ring, so that didn't really make any sense. But I really liked the way they're setting this up. Now, next week, they're going to do Charlotte Flair versus Asuka in a WrestleMania rematch, which I'm obviously alright with. And I'm actually really excited about this TLC match. I think they did a really good job of hyping it up, making it seem like that every woman just is in it for themselves. And yeah, I liked it. I mean, I guess they're done doing that Mandy Rose Sonya Deville breakup storyline because they really haven't done anything with it with these past couple of weeks. Um, then you had the next match. It was a triple threat match. It was Xavier Woods versus Cesaro with Sheamus versus Jey Uso with Jimmy Uso with Big E and Kofi Kingston on commentary. I thought this was a good triple threat match here. I thought all these guys just killed themselves. I'm not going to break down the match because you guys can go watch this match for yourselves. Well, I guess I'll break down the match. Xavier Woods and Jey Uso worked together in the beginning to take out Cesaro. I did like Cesaro just sitting back and watching as Xavier Woods and Jey Uso went at it. Then the match spilled out into chaos. Xavier Woods hit the honor roll on Cesaro. Cesaro kicked out. Cesaro hit a swing and an airplane spin onto Xavier Woods and Jey Uso, which I thought was awesome. Cesaro had caught one of the Usos in midair with a wicked uppercut, and it was just pretty much a chaotic match. They would cut to Kofi Kingston and Big E doing commentary, which every time they have the New Day out there, I don't know why they don't just, you know, have them just commentate the whole time. Because I think that would be a nice change. But the finish comes eventually when Jey Uso hits a super kick on Cesaro for the win. I wanted Cesaro to win, but I was fine with Jey Uso winning. I thought it was a pretty good triple threat match, and I enjoyed it. And they did announce, I mean, this was already announced over the weekend, but I forgot to mention it over the weekend. They did announce that the Bar is going to defend the SmackDown Tag Team titles against the Usos and against two members of the New Day, which I'm excited to see that match. All those teams have great chemistry with each other, whether it's singularly going against each other in tag team matches, so it makes sense to have a triple threat match. And they're making it seem like they're teasing a Bar breakup, which I really hope that doesn't happen because I really like the Bar as a tag team, but we'll have to wait and see. Because it would be nice to see the Bar go back to singles. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And then Rusev and Lana get interviewed, and Rusev talks about how Shinsuke Nakamura attacked him last week because he's a coward and is afraid of him. And he said that he's hungry, but he's not hungry for food. He's hungry for Shinsuke Nakamura's United States Championship, and he's going to feast on that title on the greatest day of them all, Rusev Day. Thought it was a good promo. I like the fact that they're established on a U.S. title feud, and I'm really excited to see Rusev versus Nakamura. We've seen the match before, but I'm kind of happy there's a feud behind it now, and I really hope that it leads to Rusev taking the United States Championship from Shinsuke Nakamura because I like Rusev. And then we had a Sullivan vignette, but this time he actually cuts a promo talking about how he's destroyed everybody that he's come in contact with, and no matter what brand he chooses to go to, he will extract devastation upon that brand. I do like that they're continuing that Sullivan storyline. I really hope he goes to SmackDown because I think he's better off going to SmackDown. I feel like if he goes to Raw, he's just going to be screwed, but we'll have to wait and see. Then we had Miz TV with the new Daniel Bryan, and the Miz is doing his typical shtick when they have a Miz TV segment, but then he gets interrupted by the Fabulous Truth, who do a dance break, and I thought it was nonsense, but I love nonsense, and I thought it was great. And then he brings out the new Daniel Bryan, and the Miz wants the new Daniel Bryan to admit that he's that he's following Miz's lead pretty much. Because the Miz told him that he had to do these underhanded tactics to win the title, and the new Daniel Bryan listened to the Miz, and the new Daniel Bryan gets on the mic, and he talks about how the old Daniel Bryan used to cater to the fans, but he doesn't do that anymore. From this point, he only listens to authors and literature writers that he reads about, and he talks about Alexander Hamilton, I think that's his name, and says that he had this quote where people who are given power think they have too much of it or something like that. And he references the what chance, talking about how people are still saying that even though it's outdated no matter what I say because everybody here are sheep. And the Miz pretty much is like, well, you just danced around my question. Can you please tell me why, say that I was right, that you had to do these underhanded tactics. And then afterwards, the new Daniel Bryan just goes off and talks about how he did one underhanded thing, but all these people out here are so obsessed with consumption, whether that's drinking water bottles, using the new trucks and stuff to get to the arena, eating unsustainable meat. But I do one bad thing, and it defines me for life. And he talks about how all these people are just polluting the world, and I thought it was awesome. I've learned about the stuff in environmental science too, so I was able to make a connection with it. But I thought it was just a hell of a promo that the new Daniel Bryan cut, and the Miz just wants a simple yes or no answer. Is he taking advice from the Miz? And the new Daniel Bryan says yes or no, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. And he just mainly did this to get a rise out of the fans. And then AJ Styles comes out, and he wants to get a piece of the new Daniel Bryan. The new Daniel Bryan uses the Miz and tries to escape from AJ Styles. AJ Styles tries to get it, the new Daniel Bryan. But the Miz doesn't attacks AJ Styles, and eventually the numbers game catches up to him. And the Miz lays out AJ Styles with the skull crushing finale. And I like this. I do kind of like that it doesn't really seem like that the new Daniel Bryan and the Miz see eye to eye. They kind of unintentionally work together. But I like this. I thought it was really good. I love the new Daniel Bryan gimmick. I think it's awesome, and I'm really excited. And I really hope they go with the idea to turn the Miz face and have him face the new Daniel Bryan for the title at WrestleMania. I hope they go with that idea. It doesn't seem like they're gonna. I think they're gonna go with the Shane McMahon route, but I would prefer them to go that route. So let's hope they do that. So I thought this was a hell of a segment. And then you had Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. I thought they had a hell of a match here, obviously, because it's a Jeff Hardy Randy Orton match. Randy Orton gets the advantage early in this match, but Jeff Hardy finally starts to make a comeback. They just have a street fight. Jeff Hardy back suplex Orton on the table, and then Randy Orton continues to get the advantage, but Jeff Hardy makes a comeback. He hits a really weird whisper in the win. I think this was messed up. I think Orton might have been too close to the turnbuckle or something, because the way Randy Orton fell, he bounced off the ropes and fell. It was really awkward. It didn't really look like Jeff Hardy got all of it. But yeah, Randy Orton hits a draping DDT. Jeff Hardy hits a Twisted Fate Stunner, goes for the Swanton. Orton rolls out of the wind. Hardy dives on him, back suplexes him again on the table, and he goes to hit like a Swanton bomb to the table. But Samoa Joe comes on the screen, and he's at a ball, and he wants to know if Jeff Hardy wants to drink. Pretty much using this as a distraction so Randy Orton can push him off the top turnbuckle and hit an RKO on Jeff Hardy for the win. And then it leads to a Samoa Joe PSA announcement about why you shouldn't drink, referencing a lot of Jeff Hardy's troubles with alcohol, which I loved this. I thought it was great. I think Joe's awesome. And I like this feud. And Randy Orton did do a little video promo talking about Rey Mysterio, how he's erased the WWE of Rey Mysterio, and now he has to deal with Jeff Hardy. So I like that. And I'm wondering if at TOC it's going to lead to either the two one-on-one matches with Orton versus Mysterio and Hardy versus Joe, or if they'll just combine them together and make it a tag match with Orton and Joe versus Hardy and Mysterio. I wouldn't complain if they did that, just to get all the guys on the show. I would have preferred, though, if they were going to do that, they would have had the two one-on-one matches, and instead McIntyre and Lashley team up to face Balor and Elias, just because I have much more of an interest to see the two one-on-one matches on the SmackDown side than the two one-on-one matches on the Raw side, but that's just me. And then you had the main event. It was The Miz versus AJ Styles with, I wrote the Daniel Bryan, but that's a mess up, with the new Daniel Bryan on commentary. The new Daniel Bryan got interviewed and said that he's going to go sit on commentary. I thought he was awesome on commentary, and especially at one point when he just went off on Byron Saxton. I thought that was great. And they had a good main event match. It was pretty much everything that you would expect. And in the middle of the match, when AJ Styles is doing really well, Daniel Bryan distracts AJ Styles, allowing the Miz to throw him into the steps and then hit the Skull Crusher finale, but AJ Styles kicks out. And then eventually Daniel Bryan tries to attack Styles again. Styles kicks him in the head, and it beats Miz by making him submit to the Calf Crusher. Afterwards, Daniel Bryan takes out the knee of AJ Styles and beats the crap out of AJ Styles. He slams his leg against the post, throws him head first into the post, bounces his head off the announce table repeatedly, gets him into a heel hook, beats him up the same way he turned heel the first time, where he just repeatedly stomps on his chest and head. And then the new Daniel Bryan forces Greg Hamilton to announce him as the new Daniel Bryan, and he gets on the mic and talks about how everybody's just a bunch of sheep. I don't need your approval. You guys didn't like that. And then he puts AJ Styles, he kicks him in the head and puts him back in the heel hook. And then pretty much the show goes off the air with the new Daniel Bryan doing the heel hook. And that was the end of SmackDown. And I gotta say, I really liked SmackDown. I thought it was a really good show. Very easy watch. Maybe because I'm not watching Raw right now, it makes SmackDown a little easier to get through. I don't know. But I thought it was easier to get through SmackDown this week than it was most weeks. Not that it's hard any other time, but it just felt like the 2 hours just flew by. And I really enjoyed SmackDown. If I had to give it a rating, I'm going to give it a B+. I thought it was a great show. Really, the only thing I hated on the show was that Shane McMahon Miz backstage segment. Everything else I thought was either good to fine, good to really good, or just fine. You know, I really didn't have an issue with anything on this show, so I'm going to give it a B+. I really enjoyed SmackDown. But that's pretty much my thoughts on SmackDown. Leave you guys' thoughts on what you guys thought of it in the comments. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM brothers and Owen the Talking to the YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.